Well, hello again.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're on the up and up this time, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm Nigel Chambers from Big Old Belt Media. Paola, congratulations. You are the
Thank
GOAT.
you.
How you
Thank you.
feeling?
Amazing. I feel wonderful. I feel like I finally can scream it. I can say it out loud. I'm the GOAT.
Yeah, yeah. How long have you been sitting on this secret, shall we say?
About a year. About a year. Uh, last time I saw you, I was like very quiet. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't, I feel
I
like I was
I
holding
knew
so much. I'm like, okay, yeah.
I knew it because when we talked, I talked about how like you're very blunt. You go right to the source, whoever it is. If you got something you want to get off your chest, you gonna let it off. And I was like, she's very reserved. And I was like, well, maybe that's just her personality on a day to day.
No, not
But
at all.
nonetheless, hey, listen, I'm in Washington D.C. and you were just here having a hell of a time. You went to the Columbia and USA game. First of all, how was your time here?
Oh, I love it. I love Washington, D.C. Last time I was there was my husband on his birthday. And now with the soccer game, which we did amazing. Sorry,
Killed
USA,
it,
that
killed
I was
it.
a little bit harder on the feet. But no, amazing. I love Washington. I really love spending time in there.
We love you too. So next time you let me know, especially now that you got the 200K, maybe you treating this time. Okay, we'll go with that. It's a great foodie town, so you can't go wrong here, and a good
Okay, yeah.
multi-levels of
Right.
culture. Let's talk about some of the specifics here. First of all, how does it feel to be better yet? Let's rework this question. Do you miss Daniel Tosh living with him?
Oh gosh, I do miss his weird jokes. I do. I do miss him. Like, you know that I was sitting on the chopping block for so many episodes. Like, I have
Yeah.
him in front of him, so I have to deal with his jokes. Like against you in there, like, and even one of those episodes, he said, like, we know which team is going to lose, the team that Paola is in, and I'm like, you're kidding me with your jokes, like seriously. He love his outfit, like I do miss that. I do miss his surprises, what he was wearing every day. That was
Yeah,
very
I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but at the very, very end of this season, there's a little bit of a after credit scene. We see Tosh in a baby diaper and a baby mask. It's literally the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, like, and seriously, we did, like, we were in the house, but we never got to see that. That is like, but that's Daniel Tosh, right? So like, you shouldn't be surprised about any craziness that you see in there.
Well, listen, upon the opportunity to check this out, I had no clue what I was getting myself into. And I said it's literally the most hilarious, but like my favorite reality competitive show of all time. And then obviously this is an all-star cast of folks. And because of what's at stake, you start to say, well, who is more designed to win? And like I looked at certain folks, like I was looking at like Joey from the circle. I was like, yeah, he kind of got it. Then obviously you was looking at like all right, maybe if you were in Survivor, maybe that gives you a competitive edge, but you come from 90 Day Fiancé and won it. So, whether at some point throughout this season you kind of worked the plan or did it this kind of work naturally, but what ultimately you think led to your success?
Well, I feel like in my instincts because I people were saying that I started being paranoid, but to be honest, no. That maybe that's the Colombian in me. I know the streets, so I'm like, don't trust this person. Probably have something in there. It's gonna take something from you. So maybe that was it. Like someone is gonna be taking something from me. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. So what happened? I heard a conversation. I was sleeping, beauty sleep in the afternoon in the mansion. And I heard Jill and Devon talking, and Jill said to Devon, "You and I, we're gonna make it to the end."
Mm.
And I was working with the three of them. I'm like, we were working the three of us, and I'm like, oh, that was sad. Really stabbing my heart. Like, are you kidding me? And then I tried to talk to Devon. She was ignoring me. I started
Hmm.
feeling this, and I'm like, and then I have this conversation with CJ that she's like, oh, let's start a rebellion, the rebellion. And I'm like, you know what? I know what I need to do. I was expecting not to do that to Devon because I worked with her the whole season. But when I went to Devon and I went to talk to her and I said, hey, I would like to make it with you to the end. And she went, sigh. But I didn't know she was having an alliance with her, like the whole house. I was the last one in her alliance. I didn't know that. And then I went to talk to Jill and I said, Jill, I said this to Devon, and she, oh well, saying nothing means, you know what that means, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
okay, so that's it. And then there was a comment like, you know what, your social game is very strong. My social game. She devanced it in front of everybody. And I'm like, man, you're throwing me under the bus because we're only five. We're only five, so we know that everybody's gonna be choosing the next goat. And I'm like, girl, you're just going very strong on me at this point. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep in. And then the next day, I don't know, I start asking the universe, writing on my notebook,
Yeah.
okay, I need to do this, I need to win. And this is the first time I actually win. Like the first time. And I just did what I needed to do.
I love that, man. You were straight up my favorite. And then especially after the first interviews, I was like, man, I really, really mess with her. And now I keep an eye on like you and Russ's like adventures through life. And I'm like, y'all two are like organically just amazing people. And that's kind of what I believe in the universe. Like good things happen to good people. And that's why you sitting here now, 200K richer. I do want to ask you a couple of particulars about the production. Now, we did not get to see you and Davon have that conversation because Tosh came in and cut it right off when you were going around pleading why everybody should pick you as the GOAT. Um, if you had that conversation, what do you think might have been said there?
Oh, it would be back and forth. Like after what happened, we almost got physical. I feel
Yeah.
like I left her to the end because I didn't want to just waste time fighting, and probably she would have come with a strategy just to make me waste time on her, so I don't get to talk to everybody. So I was trying not to do it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it. And I said to say, I'm sorry for what I did to you, and
Empathy.
cut. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what else would I say. Like she tried to talk to me, she tried to convince me, uh, uh maybe you guys didn't go because there's a lot of things going on, but she tried to
Yep.
convince me like not to bolt her out. But I was like, no, I didn't do this, not just to go back. But I feel like it would have been like a back and forth. Why did you didn't talk to me? Why you
Yeah.
like uh, there was no point for that. I needed to talk to other people who left
It
while ago.
it would have been what Tasha did. Tasha was not going to let it off her chest about Joe. It would have been the exact same thing where she just would have just kept picking over and over, even though she's on the opposite side of winning here, the losers bracket. But I agree. I think like that cut was a blessing for you to say, I'm sorry, and that's it. That's all that
I
needed
don't
to
know
be
what else that
said.
I could say. It's a game, right? Like the idea is that she said it at the beginning of the show. You have to separate the player with the person.
She
But
did.
not every but one thing is to say, another one is to actually do it.
All
No.
right, let me ask you a couple of quick questions. If you were not in this, who would you have wanted to win?
Actually the bun.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I love that. And because you're the GOAT, because now that makes you like the greatest of all time. And I cannot believe Tosh did not know what that meant to the very
Oh
end.
my
God
god,
damn it,
yes,
Tosh.
gosh. Gosh. Are you kidding me?
You now have to defend your status, I guess. If the show is to rework for a second season, do you want to come back to defend it? Or do you want to just have your claim to fame until maybe there's like an all-star one when multiple goats come together? How do you want to do with that?
Well, I'm a wrestler, and when we have a title, we defend it. So I don't mind just getting some more, like showing myself in there. Of course, I hope nobody knows about me because everybody already know my strategy. I'm the bartender. Everybody wants some margaritas, tequila. You can't get rid of the bartender. So I have my strategy in the house. So let's see.
Last quick question. If there's season two, would you want Russ to join?
I would love to. Yes, I would love to.
Amazing, amazing. The 200K richer, all smiles, all good vibes. I truly, truly appreciate the time. Don't spend the money all in one place, but
Oh, yeah.
nonetheless, I hope you just enjoy. And it's been a pleasure talking to you from the beginning, rooting for you this entire season, and now having a moment to celebrate with you at the end. Come out to DC. We love you.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.